Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel English Stories with me, and today I am going to tell you a most important English story. The story title is The Power of Positive Thinking. Once upon a time in a village there lived an old lady. She was very old, but her eyes were kind and brightness. Everyone in the village loved her very much because she always happy even when life was hard. She lived alone in a little house. She saw many difficulties in her life, but she never gave up. She had no children and her husband had passed away many years ago. But she never complained. She would sit under the tree and talk to people and always smile. In the village, people worked hard. Some were farmers, some were carpenters, and others worked hard in the small market. Sometimes the rain did not come and the crops dry up. Sometimes people got sick and couldn't work. Life was not easy, and many villagers were sad or worried. One day, a young man named Kamla came to her. Kamla was crying and her face was full of worry. She said, I don't know what to do. My husband has gone to the city to find work, but he has not sent any money. My children are hungry and I am scared. The old lady looked at Kamla and smiled. Sit down, my child, she said. Tell me, what do you think will happen? Kamla wiped her tears and said, I don't know. I feel like bad things will happen. What if my husband cannot find work? What if he forget about us? The old lady shook her head gently. Kamla, when we think bad thoughts, we feel bad. But if we think good thoughts, we feel better. And sometimes good things happen. Kamla asked, but how can I think good thoughts when everything is so bad? She smiled again and said, let me tell you a story. Kamla looked at her curious. The old lady began. Once there was a poor man who had nothing. He had no food, no money, and no family. He sat by the river crying. Then an old woman came to him and asked, why are you crying? The man said, I have nothing. How can I be happy? The old woman smiled and said, you have the river, you have the trees, you have the sun. Look around you. There is beauty and life everywhere. If you think about what you don't have, you will always be sad. But if you think about what you do have, you will find peace. The man listened and slowly he stopped crying. He started to see the good things around him. And from that day, his life began to change. The old lady looked at Kamla and said, "You see, my dear, the man's life did not change because of magic. It changed because changed his thinking. When we think positive, our heart feels lighter and we can face problems better." Kamla thought about the story and said, "Will my thinking really change my life?" She smiled gently and said, "Yes, if you wake up every morning and tell yourself today will be a good day, you will find the better work to can your children and to wait for your husband with hope. If you only think about what might go wrong, you will feel sad and weak." Kamla nodded slowly. "Understand. I will try to think good thoughts from now." "That's the first step, my child," she said. Kamla left old lady's house with lighter heart. Every day she remembered her words. She woke up and said to herself, "Today will be a good day." She worked hard, took care of her children, and prayed for her husband's return. After a few weeks, Kamla received a letter from her husband. She had found a job in the city and was sending money back home. Kamla was overjoyed. She ran to old lady's house to share the news. The old lady smiled and nodded. "You see, my dear, when we think positive, we invite good things into our life. Problems will always come, but if we face them with a hopeful heart, we can change our life. Life is not easy, but if we try good, then we can change everything. Just think positive and change your life better." If you like this video, please do not forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. My all dear friends, thank you so much for watching this video.